Board of Commissioners meeting. First item on the agenda is roll call.
We have Bauer absent, Gillen,
Here.
Malika,
Here.
and Dockin,
Here.
Miller.
Here. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes from February 10th.
So move. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Dockin, second by Commissioner Gillen. Any changes or corrections? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Next item, approval of the agenda for today's meeting.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Malika, second by Commissioner Gillen. Any changes, corrections? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the Three Rivers Action, or Community Action Committee with clean, oh, Mr. Thorstensen. Hi, good to see you again.
Good morning, gentlemen. Yes, I'm not Colleen Hansen. I'm Mike Thorstensen from Three Rivers. Colleen lives in Lake City and is having a battery put in her car as we speak. So anyway, you're going to have to try and pinch hit for her. The homeless, and I believe you all have a copy of the resolution? Okay. The Family Homeless Prevention Program really started back in 1995. It was a pilot program for about 2 years before that. And back in the day, everybody used to be sent to shelters like in Rochester or the Twin Cities. So then people started thinking, well, you know, maybe if we could catch people before they lose their housing, before the kids get relocated to another community for temporary needs, we might be able to do a better job with it. So the Family Homeless Prevention Program came into place, and it's funded through the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, and I believe you have the statute in front of you, the number that it's from. The program received $714,000 for the biennium in 2013 to 2015, and expects to apply for approximately $930,000 in 2015-2017. And Three Rivers subcontracts this program to SEMCAC for 7 counties and for Lutheran Social Services Link in Rochester for regional youth services. We are the fiscal agent and administrator and also a service provider with this program. Together, every 2 years, the program serves about 500 households in the 11-county region. And so far in the biennium through December 31st, 2014, which is an 18-month period, the program has already served 383 households. The program provides for assistance for rent, mortgage, and deposit. We can do transportation assistance as well. And each participant who receives family homeless prevention assistance signs a program agreement and is required to complete a minimum of 3 to 6 months of case management with their family services advocate specialist. And the purpose of that is to do some planning for both employment, if that's an issue, although oftentimes people are still employed and have lost housing, or also looking at ways of preventing a future incident of homelessness. The program is designed for families, singles, and unaccompanied youth. And again, its purpose is to primarily reduce homelessness. We coordinate this program with the Continuum of Care, which gets into some of the federal HUD regional homeless assistance. We coordinate it with supportive housing services that we provide. So there's a link both between housing services on the continuum as well as other agencies. Each county in the region has a homeless prevention task force that meets 10 to 12 times a year to kind of coordinate services as well between agencies so you don't do duplication. So it's been an excellent program from a preventative standpoint. And one interesting side note, I was trying to remember when the O.J. Simpson verdict came in, and it was in 1995. And we were doing, this was right at the end of the demonstration project, and the project was now going to go 11 county regionals. Here we are in Rochester. All the TV stations, radio stations, newspapers in the region are there. We just got started with the presentation of the check, and an announcement came that the O.J. Simpson verdict was in, and the room emptied very rapidly. So, you know, our timing wasn't perfect on getting the message out, but it's kind of a fun story to remember, and that's going to be 20 years ago this fall. Right. So, anyway, any questions that you may have?
Any questions of the commissioners? not? If not, go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just always impressed by how prepared you are with your presentation
Oh,
and how knowledgeable you are with the whole program. And do appreciate the fact that you are working with these people and making a difference.
well, thank you. That should all go to Colleen and her staff. I just, she makes me look better and look good,
Dave? Go ahead, Jeff. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. She did a great job of writing this up for you. You know what I mean? It's very self-explanatory, but yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, she does a great job. She coordinates it over the 11 counties and works with multiple staff in the region. So Colleen she's also an excellent writer. Her mother was an English teacher at Morehead State University. More trivia.
Yeah.
All right,
Move to approve.
Second.
we got a motion by Commissioner Gillen, second by Commissioner Mallett to approve Resolution 1512. Questions? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mike.
And thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, next on the agenda is Attorney's Office with John Fossum. Morning, John.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Commissioners. Thank you. We're seeking permission for out-of-state travel for one of our staff. Our drug prosecutor, Craig Green, will be attending a program in Charlotte, North Carolina, for a week through the National District Attorneys Association. This is an opportunity to prove our ability to function with the Drug Task Force to do better work. And it looks like it's an excellent faculty, and I think that Craig will bring back a lot and help improve our functioning in dealing with these important and difficult cases. And so we're asking for approval to send him, as noted in the request. The funding is expected to come from our drug and DWI forfeiture funds and not from our regular budget. So we would ask the commissioners to approve that at this time.
Motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion by Commissioner Malika, second by Commissioner Dockin. Any questions? Discussion? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion
Thank you.
carries. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is Social Services with Mark Shaw.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Mark.
Two items from Social Services this morning, both requesting your approval of contracts. The first is a Social Service Department contract with Workforce Development Incorporated. This is actually a contract renewal, but as there were substantive changes to the contract, I wanted to bring it to your attention and seek your formal approval of this contract. Workforce Development provides our employment services to our Minnesota Family Investment Program and Diversionary Work Program individuals. So after we determine their eligibility for the program, then they are referred to Workforce Development to help find employment, develop their marketable employment skills, and the ultimate goal being to support people moving from public assistance to self-sufficiency. So with that in mind, we have strengthened our reporting mechanism in the contract. We'll be meeting with them on a monthly basis to review the data that they collect with our individuals, again with the goal of getting people employed as quickly as possible. But currently we have a number of people that are already employed that continue to remain eligible for Minnesota Family Investment Program because their wages are not sustainable, they're not working perhaps to their full capacity. So we need to work to further their education, make their skills more marketable. So those are expectations. We've also added a number of deliverables to the contract with workforce development. And then lastly, put in performance measures in terms of assuring that people are moving off of MFIP, not returning to MFIP because they have sustainable employment within our community. So with that description, I would request your approval of a social service contract with workforce development.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, go with the loudest second, I think it was Commissioner Gillen. We have a motion by Commissioner Malka, second by Commissioner Gillen. Any questions, discussion? If not, we'll vote to approve the contract with Workforce Development Incorporated. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you. The second item regards a social service department contract with the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance. We seek a contract with them to provide case management to individuals diagnosed with a brain injury. There is a specific home and community-based waiver that serves this population. This group in particular has a history of expertise. It is only a small group of Rice County clients, approximately 6 to 10, that we would contract with to provide these case management services, but they have a level of expertise that we do not currently have in terms of providing services to these individuals. These services are paid through the home and community-based waivers, so there is no cost to Rice County to provide this contract. So with that, I would request your approval of a Social Service Department contract with the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance.
So move approval for the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Gillen, second by Commissioner Dockin. Any discussion, questions? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Next item on the agenda is Auditor Treasurer with Fran. Come on up. Good morning.
I have in your packet a schedule of budget to actual expenditures are on a cash basis for 2014. We'll highlight a few things on the report and then stand for any questions. The first page is the general fund, and you can see the bottom line in the very right corner that it shows about $693,000 of cash used for the general fund. Much of that was attributable to the fund use of fund balance for paying the 911 project, which was about $1.2 million, and then also that $300,000 for the debt service. So if you had factored that out, then maybe it wouldn't look so bad. We would have gained about $800,000. So we did all right in the general fund, and some of the highlights. I know community corrections, they were under budget with their out-of-home placements, which helped provide an additional positive variance in that department. And then you can see that there's ups and downs in each of them. The negative, or the brackets around the numbers, mean that resources were used more than what was expected, and the positive numbers mean we had more resources than what was expected. So if you look to the second page, the Road and Bridge Fund, we ended up adding about $2.5 million in cash. Much of that was due to the sales tax revenue that was collected. We collected about $2.3 million. So if you subtracted that out, because that'll be spent in future years, we did all right, added about $200,000 in cash there. Social Services Fund, we had budgeted to use $400,000 in fund balance, and we ended the year adding to fund balance $100,000. So that was a really good news there. Capital Projects Fund, we used about 727,000 on projects. We have about $2 million to spend on some of the projects that a couple of weeks ago Jake Rasavi came in and asked for contracts on. Debt service, we added that $300,000 transfer to that fund to make the payment for paying off that debt. Ditch fund, we ended up using a little bit of fund balance. The septic sewer fund, where we provide loans for sanitary sewers around the county, we ended up adding about $67,000 in special assessments that we collected to pay off loans that we had granted in previous years. The Roberts Lake Sanitary Sewer District, we added about $2.3 million in cash, but that was last year we ended up borrowing money from the general fund over to the Sanitary Sewer District Fund to cover cash flow items because we were waiting on a big receivable at year end. And anyway, so that money came in, and so the balance went up in that fund. As far as waste management or environmental services fund, we ended up using about $870,000 in fund balance, and that was due to we were down about $289,000 in tipping fees, and we ended up buying equipment, which was about $375,000 over budget, and then the closure costs ended up being a little bit more than what we had budgeted. So that ended up down about $870,000. So countywide, we added about $3.1 million, but if you take out, the money, the sales tax revenue, that $2.3 million that we're going to spend in future years, and if you subtract off, and that other $2.3 million for the Roberts Lake, we'll end up using a little bit of fund balance for the year. So I would stand for any questions that you might have. I'll provide another modified accrual basis report probably after the audit is done in June or early July, which will, cash you can, hold an invoice till the next year to pay it. So on a modified accrual basis, that invoice would be brought back to the period in which the expenditure was incurred. So you can't manipulate modified accrual basis reporting where cash, it can be skewed. So with that, I would stand for any questions that you might have on.
Any questions from the commissioners? Commissioner Gillen?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. These numbers tend to do just what they did on this here kind of every year, don't they? You have some things that you can't get paid for in one year, so you borrow against another entity and it creates this deficit in some.
It can fluctuate the cash
Yeah,
balances from year to year, yes.
It really makes it
And
tough to.
it's particularly prevalent in like the highways because of, some of the grant dollars that they
We don't like to
receive.
blame Dennis for everything.
It's the state,
Yeah, that's-
and the
you're
timing
right.
on some of our projects, sometimes it gets difficult.
So, and the numbers are always big,
Yes.
it seems, so, okay, thank you.
But like I said, I'll provide a more detailed report probably in June or July, that will encapsulate the full year on a modified accrual basis, and there'll be audited numbers, and then you can really see how the fund balance.
That'll clean up 2014, basically, is what that'll do, and, yeah, and then we do the same thing again for 15, and life goes on. So, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? You don't need a motion to approve or anything?
Nope, just informational. Thank you very
so
much.
Item on the agenda, environmental services with Julia Runkle.
Good morning.
Morning, Julie.
The first item I have for you is a solid waste item. It's replacement of the landfill compactor, and if you recall, we discussed this previously in the 2015 budget process. The compactor is scheduled to be replaced this year. The warranty does expire this summer. We would like to get this ordered. Basically, based on the state bid contract, we have come up with Nuss Truck and Equipment from Burnsville has a proposal in here, including the trade-in of existing compactor at $493,000 plus tax. The other bid that we did receive, or quote that we did receive, was from Caterpillar, which was quite a bit more expensive, as you will see there, plus it does not actually meet landfill specifications. So at this point, we are asking for approval to purchase that Bomag from Nuss Truck and Equipment so that we can get the purchase order in, so that we can get the new one before the warranty expires on the old one.
Okay.
So move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Gill and a second by Commissioner Dockin to approve the purchase of the Bomag compactor. Any questions, discussion? Go ahead, Jake.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It says in here that the total price is $529,000, Julie?
That's with the tax. We do have to pay sales tax at the landfill because landfills are considered to compete with private business, so we're not sales tax
Okay.
exempt.
So, yeah, it was, the total price was $573, I can read, and the trade-in price was $80,000.
Correct.
Boy, that seems, and I ain't gonna argue with you one way or another. I said that's what it stated, and I'm just expressing my view on it, that $80,000 for basically a $500,000 piece of equipment 5 years ago just seems just short. That's what I'm saying. So I said, I know it's kind of a specialty piece of equipment that there ain't a lot of them out there, but I said, every landfill's got one, and but anyhow, like I said, for that high-priced piece of equipment in 5 years just seems like a really low resale price on it. I'm just expressing what I think. I said
Sure.
that's, and I didn't have an opportunity to, when you had the meeting on the whole thing, I said that Jeff was there by himself, so he had to hold the whole thing up that day, and, but that's kind of how I view this thing here, and like I said, and of course, when you only get 80,000 in trade, you just got a huge number of sales tax. You know, I mean, that's really a big number, I said, but, I mean, the sales tax pretty ate the whole thing up, what we got on for the old ones, so.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
Right.
that's all I got.
Yeah, trade-in on these are very low because the expected life expectancy with the number of hours that's on our piece of equipment is not good.
Did we run right up against
That's
the-
why they won't even extend warranties on these, because once you get past those number of hours,
10,000?
something breaking down and being a major piece is,
10,000? Is that where we were? 10,000 hours?
we will be, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Jeff.
Mr. Chair. The deal here is it's really hard to find a multiple use for a compactor. I think it's
Yeah, other than on a silage pile, it ain't really the
silage
front
pile
part.
might work, but other than that, I just can't really think of too many things that
Other
would be
than some-
useful for.
Other than somebody else that needs one, so I said,
Well,
but they're
yeah.
not buying the old ones either,
Not like that, yeah. Scrap
So-
price is really probably what it ends up being.
so, yeah.
Any other questions, comments? If not, we have a motion on the table by Commissioner Gill and second by Commissioner Dockin to approve the purchase. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
The next two items I have before you are from the Planning Commission, and if you recall, these were the proposed zoning ordinance amendment and rezone related to the Urban Reserve Industrial, which the board initiated about a month ago. If you recall, this had to do with adding the new zoning district, Urban Reserve Industrial, and to rezone approximately 155 acres of land currently that is in Highway Commercial in Section 1 of Wells Township to the new URI district. And that was 155 acres that is less than a mile from the city limits of Faribault, has existing commercial development, is included in the Faribault's North I-35 corridor area plan as a future industrial park, and at some point will be provided with public utilities and services when it's economically and financially feasible to do so. So in your packet, the Planning Commission did have a public hearing. You should have received those minutes this morning. There was a brief public testimony. you have a question on that?
Unless if I'm the only one that's missing it, why there's a page missing from the minutes.
On the back.
Yeah, that's true, but it's one of three, and we have front and back, 1 and 3. We have no in-between discussion. Salmon closes public hearing after the,
Should have had
and then Salmon closes public hearing on the back.
page 2.
Pardon me?
You didn't get page 2.
Correct. I did not.
No?
I can have them make a copy. I'm not sure why you didn't get that, but I have it here, so.
Because I think it's
Do you
some
wanna,
meat in that.
do you wanna move on to highway and come back?
We can do that, if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we should, yeah, definitely.
And I'll go get those. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move on to Highway Department with Dennis Louie while she runs and gets that. Morning, Dennis.
Good morning, everyone, Mr. Chair. If it's 9 o'clock, well, there's 2 items on the agenda for highways. One is the public hearing on the 10-year capital improvement program, and then an action item following that. The board has packets, there's extra packets in the back. Regarding the presentation I will make, and then the floor would be open for comments from the public. Jim, would you put up that slide too, that board? What I'd like to do is just give a real brief background on how we get into our CIP process, and then I could certainly go through the projects. We talked about this on February 3rd as a draft. But we won't spend, I don't intend to spend a lot of time going through every single project. Your packet it has a title sheet, February 24th, for the capital improvement plan. That packet contains a goal statement for the department. That's built out of the transportation plan and the department goals for providing public services to the county. The third sheet on it is a summary of the projects, pie chart. It just represents the 50 projects, identifies general revenues to support those projects, and the pie chart shows that distribution. Following that is the spreadsheet some of you have seen before. It's 11 pages long. It details the year-by-year construction. It details the project's estimated costs, and it again shows the funding sources. Following that, there is a small version of the poster board we set up here to my right. That is the map of the entire CIP, or the 10-year program. And behind that is another set of supporting information regarding pavement conditions, traffic volumes, additional supporting information for each project year by year. And after you get through that, if you're still able to make sense of it all, there's a lot of information. We put together a proposed 2015 maximum axle weight map, and I think that's relevant because part of our goal is to continue to build out our 10-ton highway system. So that map represents the current condition of the system, or what we expect it to be in the 2015 year. The next map is a spring load restriction. As you know, I come before the board and talk about the necessity to